Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Starlight Beacon Transmissions. It's Saturday night. It's 8 o'clock. We're live. Um, yeah, got a lot to talk about tonight through AwesomeCon and all sorts of fun stuff. So, I'm gonna try to make the best of it. Flying solo tonight. Solo that no one can hear me. So funny. Um, you know, we're just hanging out and having a good time. I'm thinking, hey John, I'm thinking that you know what? Let's go live on Instagram again because that was fun to do last year, uh, a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, there's Pickle. He's here to say hi. Hi, Bubby. Hey, Joe. Oh, thank you, thank you. You went down, don't you? Yeah, yeah. He looks angry. He looks pissed off. Let me go live on um, Instagram. Sorry, I had to think for a second. Yeah, had to think for a second, but here we are. Uh, Hold on. All right, there we go. Okay. So we are live on YouTube as well as Instagram tonight, and if you see me going like this or like this, I'm looking at both cameras while also talking to everyone. We are back from AwesomeCon. We had a lot of fun last weekend. It was nice to get away, do the geeky thing for a bit. Um, I missed, talking with you all for the live show and everything. Um, I would have, if things didn't run so late on Saturday night of AwesomeCon, I would have gone live, and I would have done a live show from the hotel, but it's all good. Plus, that would have been more that I had to carry with me, and honestly, I didn't want to carry all that, like it's one of those things where, um, I'd have to bring my laptop with me and get that all set up and everything. And it's not a hassle, but it's just one of those things where, if I had a smaller laptop, I'd be able to take it with me, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, we had a really good awesome con. I will be right back. I've got a few things that I want to show you all, so just give me 1 minute here, and I will be right back. So stand by. Yeah, I should have gotten it before I sat down, but you know what? Here we are. Quote, little Ryan, screw it. Okay. Nope. All right. Just one more second. One more second here. Sorry, folks. It's all good. We got it. Okay. All right. And we're back. Yeah, I just wanted to show a couple of things off that we got. For those of you wondering how the weekend went, it was fun. We got in about We got into AwesomeCon at 12:30 on Friday afternoon, and well, that's when they let us onto the show floor. And as soon as we got on the floor, we booked it over to the over to the autograph area, and these were our badges for the weekend. We had the premium badges, and then we collected ribbons throughout the weekend, because ribbon collecting at cons is a lot of fun. So we've got the Uncanny Experience one here, the Farpoint ribbon here, which Farpoint, we love that convention. I've got they had a book fair at AwesomeCon this year. So I got the Sci-Fi Reader Meetup ribbon. I got this other ribbon that says "Powered by Rockets and Cats," and then our friend Liz was dressed as somebody from Has Been Hotel and had this ribbon here that said "Radio killed the video star." So yeah, that's a look at the badge, and then I also got an Uncanny Experience button from the Uncanny Experience for which is an X-Men fan event, which is pretty cool. So we went over to the autograph area and hopped in line for John Rhys Davies, who was there all weekend. So we got to meet Gimli from Lord of the Rings, which was really cool, and he was super nice, really nice. And it was just fun to just to meet him, encounter him. One of the things that he was doing throughout the weekend, or whenever we saw him like taking pictures with people at his table, he was like trying to like tickle them, or like do something funny to make them laugh and to make them smile, and it was actually really funny. And a lot of people were like, well, he shouldn't be doing that, and we're like, he means well. Right? Like he means well. Like he's not groping anybody, but he was also like asking, permission and stuff too. Like he was being respectful of people, which was really nice. And then we started walking the show floor, and started looking around and everything, and that was pretty cool. We ran into um, we ran into the wonderful folks over at Farpoint and hung out at their booth for a little bit. Um, and they ended up they ended up with a corner booth in the anime alley area, which was pretty cool, because Katsucon didn't show up, so AwesomeCon allowed Farpoint to have the booth space and put Katsucon in a different area. Um, and I thought that was pretty cool. Plus, Farpoint got a lot of foot traffic, which is really nice. So we were doing that, and then walking through Artist Alley and checking out everything there. Walked through the book fair, in which I picked up two books that I eventually did get signed over the weekend, and I'll show you those in just a little bit. But that was really cool. They had like a big bookstore, and they were selling a lot of the books from the big authors that were attending the convention over the weekend, like Timothy Zahn. They had a bunch of his books there. They had both of Zoraida's Star Wars novels, well, both of her High Republic novels, and then they also had they had Fonda Lee's books. They had Peter Brown, who wrote the Wild Robot. They had his books, so they had everybody's books really, and it was really nice and really cool to see. Plus, it was an independent bookseller. It wasn't like a national chain or anything, and that was cool to see loyalty books, really thrive at this convention. So, we also met two Power Rangers. They had Karen Ashley and Steve Cardenas there. Karen was the second Yellow Ranger, and then Steve was the second Red Ranger. And I got them to autograph my Shattered Grid comic, especially with the Ranger splash pages, which were really cool. But Steve was also selling these really cool Morpher coins, and this is the Tyrannosaurus Red Dragon coin. So as you can see here, it says Tyrannosaurus Red Dragon, and it's got it there. And let me show the people the people on Instagram. And then he autographed it as well, which was really cool. So I got that done. So yeah, it was really cool to meet both of them and talk Rangers with them, and I got to talk to Steve about the story that he wrote in Tales from the Grid, which was really cool. And it was about Rocky and his relationship with his sister, and how the show never really explored how big Rocky's family was, but this comic has. Um, so we did that, and then we just started going through. We kept walking through everything, trying to see everything before throughout the day, and then um, we got through Artist Alley, and we stopped by one booth that was selling some really cool stickers, and we oh wait, that's Saturday, so I don't want to talk about that yet. So I stopped by the Loyalty Books booth, and I picked up the Wild Robots by Peter Brown, and then I also picked up Jade City by Fonda Lee, which Brandon Sanderson has talked a lot about Fonda Lee, and a lot of other, um, you know, bookish people have talked a lot about Fonda Lee and her fantasy stuff. For those on Instagram, there's the Wild Robot, and it was really cool to like hear Sanderson talk about Fonda's work and everything. So um, when I saw that she was coming to AwesomeCon, and I saw that there was the bookseller there, I was like, all right, yeah, let me pick up Jade City and see how it is. I did get autographs from both Peter Brown and Fonda Lee. Peter Brown also gave me a robot bookmark to go with it, which is pretty cool, and then signed it right here, right here. And he was super cool to meet. And this was like his first like big con. He had never done like AwesomeCon before, and he's like, "I live in the woods, so all this is like crazy to me." And we had a pretty good laugh. And then I got Fonda Lee to sign Jade City. Let me see here. Gotta find it first. There we go. Sorry. It says for Eric, Honor, Life, and Jade, Fonda Lee. So it was really cool to meet Fonda Lee, and especially with Sanderson just singing her praises and saying she's a really good fantasy author, and her work will be talked about for a long time. And she builds these incredible worlds that feel lived in and are very accessible to readers and everything. And I talked to Fonda about the fantasy genre, and I did that on the last day of the convention, and we'll get there in a second. But yeah, we walked around a bit, and then we went back to the autograph area when we saw that Ross Marquand was signing again. And so you all know I have this big omnibus, the X-Men animated series adaptations omnibus. And these are adaptations of the 92 series, but I've been getting the cast of 97 to sign the book because these stories, X-Men 97 is a continuation of the 92 series. So at hold on, let me let me get this out of the dust jacket for a second. There we go. So at Farpoint last year, I had Cal Dodd sign this right there under Wolverine, and then this year I had uh, Ross Marquand sign it, who plays Xavier, and then I had Ray Chase sign as Cyclops. So as you can see here, and Ray Chase was said to me my X-Men, and that was really cool. It was a lot of fun meeting both of them. I got emotional when I met Ray Chase because he plays my boy Cyclops, and I absolutely love Cyclops. He's an incredible character, and what they did with him in '97 was just amazing. And to talk to him about that, to talk about the evolution of Cyclops was really really cool. Um, and I didn't want to take up too much of his time, because people were starting to pile up behind me to get autographs and everything. But it was really cool to meet both Ross Marquand and Ray Chase, and just talk X-Men '97 with them, and to get the book signed was really cool. So now I have three now I have three cast members from X-Men '97 that have now signed my omnibus, and if I can get if I can get more cast members to sign, awesome. That would be great. So we'll see, right? You know, only time will tell. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. With everything, and just interacting with everyone and all the people. Excuse me one second here. Just trying to do something here. Um, and it just really made me happy to just to go through, um, really just to go through and meet all these incredible people, right? Like all these people that have brought voices to these larger than life characters that we grew up with either in our childhoods or we're discovering now. A lot of people just discovered X-Men the animated series because of the announcement of '97, and it was just really cool to see this new generation like really um embracing X-Men, right? Like that to me is just really cool. So it was neat to meet them. Then we uh, we went back to our hotel. Um, we but first we went to Chipotle, and I stuffed my face with a burrito at 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock at night, um, in the hotel. But it was cool. We stayed outside of DC. We stayed in College Park, which was pretty cool. And we actually we ate at a really cool place, Chick-fil-A Blue Menu, which has specialty items. If you've never heard of this place before, it was really cool. Um, they had chicken wings that were pretty much just breaded with Chick-fil-A breading and spices, and it was really cool to have those. We had a burger. Yeah, the place sells burgers, and the burger was actually really good. A hamburger, cheeseburger. It was really good. And then I had buffalo chicken pizza, which was actually really good too. So um, enjoyed that. Chick-fil-A Blue Menu was pretty cool. So after that, so yeah, on Saturday we woke up, got down there, and then we we got in about 10:30 or so, um, and well, we got in about 10, and then we had a panel that we were on at 11 with our friend Liz and Liz's friends Kelly and Joe and Joe, so the JoJos. And we did a con survival guide panel, which was a lot of fun. We had a good time with that. There were about 20 to 30 people that attended, and a couple of them it was their first con, which was really cool. One guy, I said to the people who's it was their first con. I said to the people, I was like, wow, you guys picked a real doozy of a convention to start with your first one, but it's all good. It's fun to find out everybody's story and everything. And we talked about the do's and don'ts with con life, and um, a lot of people were asking about cosplay because we were pretty much all in cosplay except for one person. And we talked about cosplaying and conventions, and we also talked about small conventions, and we promoted small conventions that we all love to attend, like Farpoint and Ocean City Comic Con and all of these other smaller conventions. And it was a lot of fun to have those conversations and to be up there and answering questions and talking to everybody. It was pretty cool. So we had a lot of fun with that one, and then we went back downstairs and started exploring the floor some more, and then my wife wanted to meet Ming Na Wen because Ming Na Wen was there, so we hopped in the skip the line and we got to meet Ming Na Wen, and it was cool because she signed my wife's Mulan Funko Pop, which was really cool. And we got to talk, and we introduced ourselves, and my wife said her name, and then Ming Na Wen's like, and what's your name? And I'm like, Eric, and she's like, you're the fifth Eric that I've seen today. And I was just like, oh, hope hope that's good. Um, but it was fun. Oh, by the way, my um um sorry, I had to think for a second. But yeah, she got this Gimli Funko Pop sign by John Rhys Davies, which was really cool. And what did he say? Don't tell the elf. Yeah, don't tell the elf. That was I I had to like try to translate it for a second. I was like, what is, because it looks like elvish. Yeah. So there was that one, and then we got the Mulan Funko Pop signed. Yeah, it was hard. My wife had to choose between Mulan and Fennec, but she chose Mulan instead because Mulan's a Disney princess. Well, Fennec is too. Um, and then on Sunday, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I still want to show this off. On Sunday, my wife met Steve from Blue's Clues. And then I met Donovan from Blue's Clues. He's the second host, and because I saw that he was in I saw that he's been in Halo and Horizon Zero Dawn. So I had to walk up and talk to him about Halo and Horizon Zero Dawn, and that was a lot of fun. It was really cool to talk to him about that, and just geek out about that because he's gotten a lot of Blues Clues questions over the weekend and everything, and it was just I bet he was just like, oh, finally somebody's talking about something else. Um, no offense to those that went for Blues Clues, like seriously, no offense, because if that's your thing, cool. And then later in the day on Saturday, my wife and her sister went to two panels. They went to oh yeah, it is. They went to the Blues Clues panel because they had all three Blues Clues hosts there: Steve, Donovan, and Josh De La Cruz. All three of them were there, and that was pretty cool. So they went to that panel, and then Wes Johnson, who's a voice actor who's actually local to the DMV area, had a voiceover panel called Voiceapalooza, and they were reading different things. In like their various voices throughout their career. It was him and a bunch of other voice actors. The what? Oh, AI X Men, yeah. And they did X Men written by AI. And apparently Cyclops fires guns out of his eyes. Well, that was like when John Wick shot the horse out of his gun a couple of years ago. They did John Wick 4, and John Wick like shot a horse out of his gun according to this AI script. It was really funny. I got this really cool cat bookmark because it kind of looks like Pickle. Yeah, my wife bought it for me. Kind of looks like Pickle. You know, I need a Pickle bookmark, and it's got the big eyes like Pickle. Yeah, yeah, for Princess Mimi. Yeah. So and then during that time, I met up with Zoraida Cordova and did an interview with Zoraida, which I need to edit this week coming up so that I can drop it for you all. That way, you all can enjoy that. But it was great meeting Zoraida. It was a lot of fun, and we got to geek out about Star Wars and just geek out. Huh? I did get my book signed. It's back on the shelf. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I got Convergence signed by Zoraida Cordova, um, and that was really cool. So yeah, and then the rest of the day Saturday we kind of hung out, and then we went to the costume contest that was happening, or the cosplay contest, I should say. And let me tell you something right off the bat. Um, those costumes, most of them were incredible. Just absolutely incredible to see. Um, Even people in the beginner category just put so much work and detail into their costumes. It just wow, like wow, I was blown away. Um, and they had a guy in a xenomorph costume from Alien, and the jaw opened up, and then the second jaw came out. Um, it was crazy, absolutely crazy to see. Um, and he won an award. They had a Witch King of Angmar, who couldn't get the sword out in his presentation until the very end, but he saved the bit, which was really cool. And he won best presentation for the costume contest. And it was just a lot of fun to watch. So they had four categories. They had children, they had beginner, intermediate, and pretty much like a Champions Cup, right? Um, hey Jackie, what's going on? But it was funny that um, during halftime when the judges were deliberating about like the costumes and everything. That's when we had a drag show. Um, and one of our friends, who's well, she's become a friend now. Um, one of the drag queens in our area, named Demanda Martini, performed during the drag show, and she was dressed as Mon Mothma and lip synced and danced to "Last Dance," which was pretty cool. What's that? To Admiral Akbar. Yeah, it's a trap. Yeah. Um, so that was a lot of fun. And then we saw Storm. We saw a drag queen dressed as Storm perform. Then we saw one dressed as the Yellow Ranger perform, which was really cool. And then the MC Logan Stone performed something from Has Been Hotel because they were dressed as a character from Has Been Hotel, and it was really funny because Logan was emceeing the thing the entire time, and they kept dropping f bombs throughout the entire thing, and it was so funny because the first time Logan did it, Logan asked if anybody in the audience was under the age of 8, and like a few people like raised their hands, and I think like, what's that? Yeah, yeah, like they were on the other side of the room from where we were, and then Logan just pretty much said, "Well, consider this your fucking warning," um, and just went on. And we saw Logan the next day, and like the first words out of my mouth after hi were, um, "Yeah, great job with the f bombs last night. Like, really, that was awesome," because it was really funny. It was really funny, and I was like, "Oh, okay, it's gonna be one of those tonight." Um, and we had a really good time with with the drag show, and then came the costume awards. One thing I noticed was there were a lot of costumes. Well, I wouldn't say they were a lot, but there were quite a few costumes from Critical Role that were entered into the costume contest. One person was Vexalia, um, and then there were two Dorians that entered the costume contest, and that was pretty cool to see. It was really cool to see Critical Role get represented at this costume contest. And then on Sunday they also had a Critical Role cosplay meetup, and they had characters from all three Critical Role campaigns. And at first they did a big group photo, and then after that they did individual campaign group photos, which was pretty cool. So like they had Vox Machina, Mighty Nine, and Hell's Bells, which was really cool to see on Sunday. um, yeah, then Saturday night, got back to the hotel, went to the Wawa right next to the hotel, um, stuffed our faces with food that we should not have been eating at 9:30 at night, but when in Rome, right? So then we got up. Oh, on Saturday we were also dressed as our droid builders. We were in our droid smith costumes, and we stopped by a booth in Artist Alley and got two really cool stickers. So we have a pink Gonk droid sticker here. Yep, pink Gonk. And then we have a blue Gonk sticker. And these are going to go on our droid builder backpacks. And it was just, and then like as we're walking around, we had our backpacks on and the lights were on the packs, and everybody kept stopping us and saying, "Oh man, we love your costumes, we love your backpacks." And a bunch of people were asking like if we got the backpacks in the park, and we're like, "No, these are pet carriers we ordered online." Yeah, and then some people thought we actually had pets in the carriers, and we're like, "No, it's just our droid babies." And that was pretty funny. And then yeah, Sunday we really took it easy. Sunday, that's when my wife and my sister-in-law met Steve from Blues Clues, and then my sister-in-law met Judith Hogue, from Ninja Turtles, but she met her because of Halloween Town, which was cool. And then and by association, we met Judith Hogue, which was fun. So we hung out and talked to her. And then while that was going on, they had all four '90s turtles there, all four actors that played the '90s Ninja Turtles, because this year's the anniversary for Ninja Turtles as a whole. And they also did a Goonies reunion, so Corey Feldman was there, so he was representing the Goonies and Ninja Turtles. Um, but I walked up to Brian Tochi because he didn't really have a long line, and I just walked up to him and I said, I just wanted to say hi. And he's like, yeah, I appreciate that. And then I talked to him about Turtles 3, which is the best Turtles live action Turtles movie. It gets dunked on a lot, but it is the best live action Turtles movie. That's the one where they travel back in time to feudal Japan, and it was really fun, and we had a good time talking to him. And then that was pretty much it for. Yeah, and then I got the book signed by Fonda Lee. Oh, and we also caught some of the Bluey's dance mode party at AwesomeCon Junior, which was great when you could understand the music, because the speakers were garbling the music like really, really bad. But it was fun. So yeah, and then we were dressed as Pinkie Pie and Cheese Sandwich from My Little Pony. We did that on Sunday, which was it was fun. People were taking our pictures and everything. So yeah, and we gave out rubber flingy chickens, so like the slingshotty ones for people. Um, but I wanted to talk about it was a fun convention. We had a really good time. But there's one thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and I wouldn't really say it's a problem, but it's something that a lot of people noticed this year. And this is kind of hard to address, but because most of our audience here on the Beacon are all adults, right? Um, so they had a lot of like risky things at AwesomeCon this year, especially in Artist Alley. And some of those risky things were like near ish to the AwesomeCon Junior area. Um, and like I said, whatever AwesomeCon does, like I get it. They have to find places to put people. I understand. Um, but at the same time, like if you're gonna be that close to children, like and like you don't sell like family friendly things, it I'm not telling you what to do. It's just one of those things where it was a little tough to see, like just that close to the kids area. That's all I'm saying. I hope I don't sound judgmental. I sound judgy. Yeah, because it is a kids event. Yeah, yeah. And then like, so I was walking around. I was doing something, and while my wife and my sister-in-law were meeting Steve from Blue's Clues. I was going to do something. I don't remember what it was, but I was heading back to the autograph area, and right by the autograph area, they had this booth that was literally a peep show. Um, and like they had a curtain and it said like 18 and over only, and I'm like, really? You're doing this like right near Steve from Blue's Clues? Like, oh, okay. Um, and like they were handing out flyers and stuff. And like I got one, I looked at it and then I threw it away because I was like, really? Like I'm not. I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do, right? Like I can't stop you from doing what you're doing. I just think that when it comes to stuff like that, they really need to be a little more selective in these things, if that makes sense. Because it's just tough, and it's tough to talk about because I really enjoy this convention. It's a great convention, and I love that they have a lot of programming for kids, and a lot of things for families to do. But it's also just one of those things where you know really, like, if you want to do like an 18 and over area, like an adult area, like that convention center is big enough where you could do that. I just, like I said, I just don't think a booth like that should be near those autographs for like Blues Clues, or like those artist alley tables should be near AwesomeCon Junior. That's my whole point. Other than that, it's a fun show. It's a great show. We had a really good time. But there was also an air to it where people were just tired. Like you could just pick up like on just people just being tired. Um, because like let's face it, the world has gone to hell in a handbasket, and we're all feeling it, right? And it's just kind of hard to escape those things while you're at a convention because it's always going to be in the back of your mind, right? Like it's always going to be one of those things where you think about it. um but yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time, and I next year, the event's in March, so looking forward to that next year. No guests announced yet, but I have a feeling they will announce guests very soon. While we were there, like I said earlier, we hung out with Sharon and the fine folks over at Farpoint, and geeked out with them all weekend, and it was really cool, and a lot of fun. And they are going to be announcing their first round of guests here very soon, so stay tuned for that. And they announced a change of venue for Farpoint 2026. They are moving to just north of Baltimore in Towson this time, to a bigger hotel that has more convention space, which is really cool. And we're looking forward to it. Plus, it's like 10 minutes away from the house, which is great because, like, if we do the masquerade, like, we can just drive back, like, no problem. And like, but we also said to ourselves, what if we just want to get away for a weekend? Like, yeah, it's still 10 minutes away, but yeah, what if we just want to stay there for the weekend, right? Like, yeah, maybe. We might. Who knows? But it could be fun to do that, right? But then I was thinking, like, but I'm 10 minutes away from my cat and my house and my own bed. Um, and part of me's like, I'd rather sleep in my own bed. But we'll see. Um, but we did talk to them about them trying to get a guest. We're not going to say who it is, because I don't know if they're going to accept or not, and I don't want to say anything, um, because I also just told Sharon and the team over at Farpoint, I'm like, whenever you announce guests, let me know. That way, like, we can go live with announcements and stuff like that. And she goes, yeah, I like that idea because, you know, with me getting guest announcements and stuff, and then I'm announcing them to you, that's part of the partnership, and I don't want to spoil something or say something and not have it come true. So yeah, it's just one of those things. We'll see what happens. But Farpoint 2026 is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great convention. Oh, I I also had one other. I don't want to say complaint, but I felt like there was one there was one company that was there throughout the weekend that could have done so much to like get people excited about stuff and to really like bring people in. And that's Crunchyroll. So Crunchyroll was represented in the anime section this year at AwesomeCon. And it was it was cool to see Crunchyroll there. However, I just want to say like they didn't really do anything to promote Crunchyroll. Like nothing to promote the shows on Crunchyroll, or like even like they could have brought items from the Crunchyroll online store and like like sold those at the convention, right? Like they could have also been like okay, or like release something just exclusive for AwesomeCon. Like that would have been really cool and it would have generated a lot of buzz for Crunchyroll. And I just feel like they dropped the ball with that. Like it was yeah. Um Also there was this weird okay, prefacing again. And if I'm going too long on this, I apologize. But huh? Did you say a tad bit? My wife said I'm going a tad bit long on this. But we haven't really talked about any of this stuff in a week, so you're going to have to bear with me. Um but they had this game there promoted. There was this company that was promoting this game about VTubers. And it was like VCTCG or something. It's like VTuber card trading card game or something like that. And it was all VTuber waifus. God, I sound old. Um, yeah, you kids and your weebs and waifus. Um, like I'm just like I walked by, I was like, oh okay, and then like they had this juice there that you could like sample, but in order to sample it, you had to like sit through their spiels about this game or about like this juice and this game, and apparently it made a lot of people uncomfortable because our friend Liz had to sit through it just to get this juice. And Liz was like, yeah, that was a lot. Um so so yeah. Um it's just it was it was weird. Also, they had Honkai Star Rail there, so Hoyo verse was like represented, but like you didn't know what the booth was. Like you didn't know if it was a merch booth or an experience booth or what. It was just like this booth that like you could buy stuff at, but like it was weird. It was weird. So I feel like both Crunchyroll and the creators of Honkai Star Rail just kind of like dropped the ball when it came to stuff like that. Um, Other than that, it was a fun weekend. We ran into Greg, the remix. We ran into him because he was helping out at the Labyrinth Games area, which was on the first floor of the convention center. So we stopped by and saw him and talked to him for a few minutes. But yeah, we had a really good weekend. It was good to be back though, and sleeping in our own bed. And it was good to see Pickle. And we don't really have anything else really coming up, like convention wise, until Ocean City, pretty much, and that's in December. Oh, we also ran into our buddy Rod, um, Rod Van Blake, who's a local author. It was cool to run into him and see him, and then we ran into Eric from Artway Alliance. Um, we we ran into we ran into a bunch of people. Alex Bowman, who's part of our Discord server, she was there. She was vending, so we ran into her, said hi to her. Um, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We had a good time. So let's talk about some of the Star Wars stuff. Um, we are 10 days away from season 2 of Andor, the 3 episode premiere. So we're getting ready for that. We're excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I have a feeling they are going to. I also have a feeling they could drop this season early, because Celebration is right before the premiere. And remember, they dropped Obi-Wan at Celebration a couple of years ago. So they could definitely do it again with Andor, and we'll have to see if they do that. Because like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Um, Plus, then you can generate more buzz. You can generate more buzz going into it, which is good, right? Like you want to do that. Um, if I'm Lucasfilm, I want to do that. I want to get as much buzz for this show as possible. So we are 10 days away from that. Celebration is within striking distance. It's less than a week away. That is going to start on the 18th. So we are less than a week away from Celebration. That's about 6 days away. That is being held in Japan. And yeah, people are we've seen a lot of content creators already heading out to Japan and spending time out there before the convention. Um, Sarah and Steven from Princess and the Scoundrel podcast, they have been there pretty much all week this week. Um, they posted a video of Steven looking at the giant unicorn Gundam that they had that they have in Japan. Um, and like I told them, I was like, I'll get you a list of Gundam that I want if you're going by the Gundam bases. Um, as a joke, I said it as a joke. But yeah, so Celebration Japan is about to go off. I know also Alex and Molly from Star Wars Explained, friends of the show. They they're over there now, and a lot of the podcasting groups are starting to make their way over. And I know Leah will be heading over very soon as well. And looking forward to hearing what Leah has to say about Celebration. So uh, we won't really know any other news until Celebration really kicks off. But we did get another Celebration announcement during the Lucasfilm Games panel, which I believe is going to be on that Friday. But don't quote me. They are doing a first look at the DLC, the upcoming DLC for Star Wars Outlaws, which features Hondo Onaka. We are really excited about that because we love Outlaws here on the Beacon. I love that game so much. It's fantastic. The Wild Card DLC was incredible, and to get the Hondo DLC coming out very soon. That's going to be really cool. And Jim Cummings is back as Hondo for the DLC, which I can't wait. Jim Cummings is one of my favorite voice actors of all time. Not only is he Hondo Onaka, but he's Ray the Lightning Bug from Princess and the Frog. He is all of these amazing characters. So really just awesome. We can't wait. So um, then we also have a book announcement. StarWars.com did announce a brand new book by Adam Christopher, which is called Master of Evil, and it's going to be about Darth Vader, which will be really cool to read. Adam Christopher wrote Shadow of the Sith, and that was an awesome book. It was a lot of fun to read. Um, it was dark. It was dark as hell, but it was a lot of fun to read, and I had a really good time reading it. So that's really cool. We also did get the trailer for Tales of the Underworld, which is a brand new Star Wars animated anthology series, which is going to start on May 4th. Actually, all episodes will be streaming on May 4th, and it's going to focus on Cad Bane and Asajj Ventress, which we are really excited about. Um, I'm excited to see more of Cad Bane's story. And I really hope that they do the Boba Fett animatic that we never really got with Clone Wars. I hope they actually tell that story in this. And then I really hope that they fill in the blanks of how Ventress came back after the events of Dark Disciple. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that they tell that story as well. So we have a lot to look forward to in the world of Star Wars. Sorry that tonight was mostly about AwesomeCon, but yeah, really excited about the future of Star Wars. And then real quick, so I'm about to start reading Jade City, and then I'm gonna read The Wild Robot. But so a few months back, uh, I backed the backer kit for Brandon Sanderson's. Well, he they were releasing book 2 of Stormlight Archive in a leather bound. That and you could back that, but then he was also releasing Secret Project 5, and that was part of the backer kit. And like you could actually just pledge to just get Secret Project 5, and then like you could get add-ons with it. So um, I pledged for Secret Project 5, Isles of the Emberdark. I should be getting that come fall, which I'm really excited about that. Um, and then, but I did get an additional thing that was sent to me, and that is this really cool thing. So Sanderson has these curiosities, right? These are other works that he wrote that weren't traditionally published, and so during the Secret Projects Kickstarter, back in it was the year of Sanderson, so that's when we got um, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, Tress in the Emerald Sea, or Tress of the Emerald Sea, um, Frugal Wizard's Guide to our Frugal Wizard's Handbook to Surviving Medieval England, and then we got the Sunlit Man, and 3 of those 4 were Cosmere. Um, he released like a Sanderson curiosity, um, like that was like a short story, and then he's also released The Way of King's Prime, which is a Sanderson curiosity, and that is what he wrote to originally kick off Stormlight Archive. Um, but he changed everything up to what we have now with the with Way of King's canon. So he wrote another curiosity, and this was actually written after he wrote Elantris, which was his first published novel. And this is Dragonsteel Prime, um, right here. And this is a story about a character that would later become Hoyd in the Cosmere. Um, or Wit if you're reading Stormlight Archive. Hoyd and Wit are the same character as because Stormlight Archive is part of the Cosmere along with Mistborn, Elantris, Warbreaker, Tress, Yumi, Sunlit Man, uh, Arcanum Unbounded, all of these. So this is like half canon and half not canon. And so I am about 100 pages into this, but I'm enjoying my journey so far. I think it's really cool. The characters are really interesting. The world that he builds is really interesting. Some of the stuff from that made it into Stormlight Archive, there's some stuff in here, like the Shattered Plains, which is a big area and a big plot point in Stormlight Archive. It's relevant in this book as well. So, yeah. So this is my current read, and then I'm going to really dive into um, re-dive into Timothy Zahn's canon Thrawn novels. Because like I really want to read up on Thrawn again because I feel like we should have a refresher course on Thrawn very soon. So yeah, that's it. Um, yeah, only about an hour show. Um, I'll be in Discord later. I'm just gonna chill out for a little bit and then hop into Discord later. So please join us there if you haven't already. But yeah, that's it for us for this week. We will be back next week trying to bring you as much news as we can from Celebration. But we're gonna try. So it's one of those things uh, where we're just gonna we're just gonna try, right? do or do not. But this time there is a try. So yeah, that's the plan. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.